you not doing any drinks? So we'll put them. get rid of the jacket. Now it comes off. Joy. Joy. We need the AC on. Yeah. Come and settle. We're already live. Yeah, we're already live, guys. Come, welcome. Please sit on a seat. Yeah, that's all right. Sit where you need to sit. Babes,
Adelle, you know what I've realized from this pajama interpretation? There's some of us who love to be cozy. There's some of us who love to be kind type. Like fantasy stuff. We're going to the bedroom.
all right, ladies.
I will not hold this.
Deep breaths, everyone. We're already live.
Behind the light.
Hi. I love it. That's what you wear when you are going to bed. Yeah. Tracy, I'm going to ask you to sit on the floor. Is that okay? I need to sit here because of all these things. Yeah. I'm going to sit here. Can you sit? You can either squeeze it there. Come and sit. You said this crowd was easy to control. We need the AC on because it's warm. Yeah, these are the mics that we go around. Hi everyone, welcome to this pajama party. It's such an honor to be surrounded by such phenomenal women. I have to tell you, the vibes in here, right? Vibe, it's vibing. The vibes are vibing. My name is Ghelani, and with Gem Forest, What Women Want is bringing you this very unique event. As you can see, we've really come together to, one, raise funds for cancer treatment, and two, just to talk about women and wellness. So I'm going to go around the room and ask everyone to sort of say hello and let you know who they are. But you already know who they are. But let's just do this anyway, because they asked for it. Let's do it. Should we start with you, Janet?
I was going to be like, just go this way. It makes so much sense to just go this way. I can speak to you, right?
Yes, speak to me.
Yeah, Janet Mbugua. I describe myself as media personality, author, activist, mom, and I think I love putting information and money in women's hands.
Oh, I love it.
I realize that's a love language nowadays. I'm like, can people just earn and put money? But yeah, and I'm happy to be here, and familiar, amazing faces, so yeah, happy to be here.
Amazing.
I'm Kitt Nyang'aya.
Is your microphone on? Sorry, ladies, we need to switch them on. Just press it. Yep.
It's on, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm Kitt Kiarie. I'm an author and a sleep coach and a content creator. I am here to set women free. So me and Janet were on the same train.
And we're here, pajama party sleep coach.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll teach you.
For real.
Good night sleep. You have to teach some of us who are night owls. Hi, my name is Yvonne Darcq. I am a singer-songwriter, performing artist, philanthropist, mother, just a jack of all trades. I'm a multifaceted woman.
Yes.
Nice. Love it.
Oh yes, and we're here with the pink pajama
Yes.
Yes, we are the Pink Pajama Party. My name is Kambua. I am a singer, I'm a maternal health advocate, and I am a mom, and so happy to be here. I'm out at night.
Outside at night.
Girl time.
Yeah, goodness. Hi, I'm Adelle Onyango. I'm a media entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Legally Clueless Africa. I'm an author, and I'm really passionate about African women coming back home to their bodies, whatever that looks like. And so that's why.
Love.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. My name is Vesha Okello. I'm an entrepreneur, co-founder of a marketing agency known as Savvy House. I am a firm believer that women can have it all. And that is what I am here to share with you guys. Hello. My name is Celestine. I'm an actress, a GBV advocate, founder of Simama Initiative. I'm also a founder of Film Connect Africa. And I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm very passionate about women.
Hi everyone, I'm Kalekye Mumo, and excited to be here. Thank you for having us in our pink pajamas. I'm going through a bit of a cold, so I don't normally sound like this, but it's quite sexy now.
It's very sexy.
Anyway, I am a media professional and a trainer under KM Network, one of my brands, and I am a podcaster, Africa's Best Relationship Podcast, just won that, as well as training men and women on how to use and own their mic, understanding how to be a host, a public speaker, and a voiceover artist. So those are the things I am now. Thank you.
Welcome, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to
The ladies who are sitting down on the floor, and then we're going to go to Suzie, and then we'll finish with Carol.
Hey guys, I'm Sheila. Kwamboka. Yeah, guys, of course Sheila. I'm a broadcaster and I'm a lover of life.
Yeah. Nice.
And women. Yeah.
We love you too. Such great intros.
Yeah.
My name is Valentine Njoroge. I am a media entrepreneur, the founder of Datasphere. And ladies, did you see something called Yummy on your bed?
Yes.
I'm now a beauty entrepreneur and of course Yummy Beauty. It's great to be here, Pinky. Such a great initiative.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that women need to own their bodies. I used to write a lot about sex and sexuality, and mostly we need to own our story. Yeah, so
I like
I'm
that.
excited to hear the stories tonight,
Yeah.
and great to meet all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pinky, for organizing this and for including all of us together. This is wonderful. The energy here tonight is amazing, guys. My name is Lisa Christoffersen, aka McKenna. I am actually a cancer survivor, for those who don't know. And I'm here today. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Yoo-hoo! I founded Kenya's first all-women-only safari rally, the Lioness Rally. So today I'm proud to say that that's my new passion. Just drove in this year's WRC Safari Rally.
Wow.
Yes. And again, that's about taking women into the car, taking control of your life by steering in the direction, metaphorically, where is it you would like to go. I'm also the founder of Lifestyle in Gigiri, for those who don't know. I'm an author as well, written 3 books, 2 guidebooks on Kenya, and a children's story. and an interior designer working on some amazing projects out there. And Lisa stands for Life is So Amazing.
I know, it's so true. Life is so amazing, right? And I mean, it's such an honor to be here and to listen to all of you. To be honest, I feel like I'm rediscovering myself. I'm not going to say that I know what I'm doing right now, but I feel like I'm in that season where I'm growing and I'm learning. And my name is Tracy Wanjiru. I am a media personality, content creator. And the reason why I'm relearning myself is because I started not very long ago my walk with God. So I feel like He's really shaping the woman that I am. The woman that I knew a couple of years ago doesn't exist anymore. So that's why I'm saying I'm relearning myself. I just embarked on my journey as an entrepreneur, which is one of the things I feel like God has called me to do. Because one of the things that I was asking myself is, what can I do, you know? And yeah, I'm learning, I'm growing. So I'm excited to be here.
Hi everyone. I'm Suzie Wokabi, Pinky's official best friend on the planet. I'm a beautypreneur. I'm the founder of Suzie Beauty, which is Kenya's first homegrown beauty brand, and newly launched SB Dada. Mother, wife, published author, newly. So a lot of hats to wear, consultant as well, and yeah, I'm so happy to be here. This is like the best, the best. I mean, look, I don't have shoes on. Adelle's hair. Thank you so much, Pama.
A touch of pink.
Pink handbag.
Order, members, order.
Before I introduce Carol, because I really, I think it's such an honor that Carol has, I have a lapel mic, has joined us today. I just want to say what the whole, the reason behind the Pyjama Party, what it was all about. Jem Forrest very graciously, said to us, why don't you host a Pyjama Party and let's raise funds and let's raise awareness around breast cancer. And I was like, I know exactly who I'm inviting to this Pyjama Party. First of all, it's women who are using their voices, doing such phenomenal things. So all of you are just amazing. I'm a fan of each and every one of you. I think you are phenomenal. Yeah. And yeah, that's why I said it, so that you
can get it back. I love it. Kitt.
But for real, you guys are just, I really hope you understand who you are. And I think you do in ways, but you inspire women not only within this country, but around the world because of how you've stepped into your authenticity, how you've stepped into your power, and how you use your space to continue to keep women and men happy. I think, empowerment is a word that we overuse. But when I watch you guys, when I see you guys, it brings a smile to my face and it really fulfills me. So you can imagine how many more millions you're doing that for. So thank you so much for honoring this invite. Crafted PR are doing our live stream today. I have to mention these people. They're so important. They came in, they saw the cause, they understood. They're like, yes, we are going to support you. The crew is entirely male. And I think someone was like, will there be men there? And I was like, yes, there will be men there. But they understand, the whole breast cancer awareness cause. So thank you, Crafted PR, for coming in, being so professional in everything that you're doing. Those are the two names that I needed to mention first and foremost. The Pyjama Party, of course, as you know, as I've said to you so many times, it's raising awareness, but having a conversation. We're going to have fun today. But the first thing that we need to do is honor our cancer survivors and our cancer warriors, because really that is what today is about. That is what the month of October, especially with breast cancer and ovarian, is it ovarian cancer? Cervical cancer as well. So I now hand it over to Carol, who is a breast cancer warrior and who's going to share her story with us about when you found out and what you've been going through. And once we hear a little bit more about you, then we'll get into the crux of our conversation today.
Wow. Good evening, ladies.
No
I'm a little bit anxious because this is the first time I'm giving my story in public. My name is Carol Kinuthia. My friends call me CK. I'm not afraid of talking about my diagnosis. Same way I'm not afraid of talking about my age. I'll work backwards on this story. It's exactly 1 month today since I finished my last session of tomotherapy. And it was 48 hours to my 45th birthday.
Wow.
So I am telling my friends and family that I'm living life season 2. So this season 2 has brought me here, and I'm glad to be in familiar territory. And as much as I've seen people I haven't seen in a very long time, Valentine. So I felt a lump on the right-hand side of my breast, under my armpit. And I took it to mean, I wear a padded bra, so I took it to mean it was a pain or a press-on from the bra. Fast forward, I went to see my gynecologist who said we need to do a mammogram, we need to do an ultrasound, and then there was the word biopsy. And I had had it before, but I didn't pay so much attention because I'm the girl who goes to Jaffrey's after school run. Most of my friends say they first saw brown rice in my house. I am the one who goes on chasing summits, doing hikes and all of that. So I was like, that can't be me. Cancer is for people who are unhealthy. Cancer is for people who are fat. Cancer is for whatever. So I was in a bit of that space of, anyway, biopsy ndio unataka, sawa. So the part that they didn't say about biopsy is you have to wait for 7 days, Pinky. And I did my biopsy on a Thursday, and they don't work on weekends.
Okay.
And all this time I haven't told a soul what's going on. 7 working days. So I had to wait the weekend, the whole of the following week, and the weekend, and then the other week. So this was on 20th of February this year, and I got my report on the 6th of March. And of course, you go back to the gynecologist for the results. Pinky, am I still within time? I'm a journalist. I'm a media consultant. I can talk on ends. So I went to see my gynecologist, who's very chatty. He's been my gyna for the longest time, and he didn't lift up his head. That was a sign. And he was on his laptop, looking at me over his glasses. And he calls me Caroline. And this day he says, Miss Kinuthia. And I knew we're in trouble. And he said, I'm not happy, Miss Kinuthia. And it's carcinoma. I said, doctor, so-and-so, what is that? So I became a bit hysterical, and because I was now starting to feel a bit off. And he said, he needs to hand me over to a doctor who will take it up, but it's ductal carcinoma. And I said, what does that mean? For the whole time, he did not mention the name cancer. And when I look back, he was just trying to be kind to me, because here I am, I'm alone, I'm a young mom, I have a 7-year-old son, and he was looking at it, this one now, what do I do? So he handed me over to a breast surgeon, who now broke it down to me and said, this is what's happening, and we need to draw a treatment plan. Fast forward, I am 20 days in Kenya, having spent the last 5 months of my life in New Delhi, undergoing treatment. I had surgery, lumpectomy. I have half a breast, 1.5 breasts. I have had 6 sessions of chemotherapy. I know, Janet, you're surprised to see me in a wig. I lost all of my hair, my nails are black. I've added a bit of weight. And I did 15 sessions of tomotherapy. And what do I say? Never ignore any foreign feeling in your body. It doesn't matter if you're the fittest of the lot. It doesn't matter if you're a marathoner, an athlete, whatever it is that you feel about yourself. As a woman, primarily, do not ever ignore any feeling in your body. And I hope I'm allowed to say what I'm about to say on camera. Don't expect anybody else to feel that for you. you must feel it yourself. Don't say that you will expect it to be said to you. No, only you can feel it, because only you who knows your body. So my biggest lesson is I felt it and I took action. Because as I continued, there was a lot of confusion, there was a lot of untidiness in the healthcare space that I was in. But what saved me and what was my saving grace is because I took action immediately. Thank you.
Sharing that. I think it's so powerful, and it's such, yeah, I know. It's hard to share, right? It is. But I think sharing also gives us some sort of healing. So thank you to our cancer warrior for being here, for honoring us with your presence, and for being who you are, and continue to share your story.
And I brought a pink stress ball for an hour.
Oh. Does it help?
I used one, but I had to find a pink one.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
Nairobi Sports House. So.
I'm now going to hand this over to Maureen, who's a late comer. But we're not going to say that, right? Maureen, you can just introduce yourself very quickly before we get into the next segment of our pyjama party.
Wow. Where do I start? With my name, of course. I'm Maureen Waititu.
Are you sure?
I don't
it's
know.
written here. Okay, yeah, we're just checking.
I'm on brand. I was actually waiting for this set to arrive because I'm extra. And I've learned from a beautiful lady, Caroline Mutuko. She told me, Maureen, you're not meant to fit in, you're meant to stand out. And you can be, as you can tell, I'm very, very soft-spoken. And she said you don't have to be loud, but you'll be heard. And I'm so honored to be in the presence of women I admire. I can't believe I'm here, like you guys, the celebs, you know? Yes, I'm Maureen Waititu. One of those, yeah. Ooh, I wear so many hats, but for this purpose, I'm a mom of 2 lovely boys. So when I hear you sing a 7-year-old and the fear that comes with that. I do have an 8-year-old. He just turned 9 last weekend. Mm-hmm. I feel like a teenager. I don't know why I don't know, having a 9-year-old. They grow so first, and a 6-year-old, and I'm also in the media. I do have a TV show on KBC called The Nest. We speak about anything and everything, especially with mothers. A content creator with impact, mental health, and women economic empowerment champion, and soon to be author. So look out for that. And soon to be mediator and a psychologist.
Oh,
although
wow.
I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. My background is law, but those are the dreams, yes. Those are the dreams. It's my short-term plan. Thank you.
Right. I like this, like how we've just said, okay, this is what we're going to be doing today. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you
like
so much.
Say, you don't have to be loud to be heard. That's the loudest club, by the way. That's the
this
loudest
one.
club. And I'm so happy to meet all of you ladies.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you. So I'm going to ask Lisa to say a few words because she is a cancer survivor, and maybe we can talk to Carol and give her some, and anybody who's in Carol's position, and also, you know, you can talk to us, people who may not be suffering or going through the fight, which is cancer, but just we know people who are, like, how can we be better human beings? Do we have enough time, Janet? How can we be better human beings? That needs like longer time.
I'm an active patient.
You're an active patient. Okay. So maybe Lisa can, Lisa is a
let
survivor.
me just say a little bit about my journey. So I'm, again, like you, always into wellness, fitness, and all of that. And, one day in 2006, I woke up in a bloodbath. Like, what's this? I fainted. So I went to my gynecologist, and long story short, over a period of 4 months, he did 4 DNCs on me. So you go in, scrape everything out. I was like You know, I know I'm Mzungu, lakini white. I was so anemic. I was 49 kilos. I couldn't walk 50 meters without coughing blood. And my gynecologist is telling me, Yani, you are a hypochondriac. So I made some phone calls in South Africa, and I jumped on a plane Sunday afternoon to Johannesburg, and I maneuvered my way in to see one of the top gynecologists who did 10 hours of test on me. And I never, like you ever thought, me, that C word, awezekana. So 10 hours later, I go back to the hotel across the road. Tuesday morning, I'm there. He says, girl, you got stage 4 cancer. You got 10 days to live.
No.
What? 10 days.
What is that?
Well, I was busy. So I said, I'm busy. I've got things to do, places to go, children to raise, rallies to do. I mean, what is this, 10 days? 10 days. Yeah? So then he says, well, go down and see the oncologist in the same Morningside Hospital in Sandton in Joburg. Off I go, and she redoes all the tests. And she says, it's true. And she says, but you have 2 massive tumors in your uterus. So this gynecologist of ours here in Nairobi, what was he looking at? So they had pressed up, and my whole lung was one big freaking tumor. And that's why I was coughing blood. So she said, look, you're too weak for us to operate. But we're going to apply for the strongest oral chemo in the world, and it's under lock and key with the Ministry of Health in South Africa. We will get that permit. I'm like you, counting down that time. Remember, we're on Tuesday. I've got 10 days. Now there's 9. They don't work on weekends.
No. You have 10 days ended by weekend.
Yeah, no, they're also busy. Yeah? So that following Monday, I go in, and the oral comes in, and there was this guy who came in with a brown paper bag. I'm like, is that bubbles? Oh, this is the real deal, girl. So the oral chemotherapy goes into my arm, and I hemorrhage into my lungs. I had 7 blood transfusions, 2 my body rejected, and the next thing, I died. So they managed to revive me. I've got this beautiful scar here that reminds me of life is so amazing. And I was in a corner of ICU for 5 weeks. I couldn't talk. So I thought, there's a reason for everything in life. Maybe it's my time just to tulia kidogo, take that pen and paper and start writing all those thoughts down. And that was my life for 5 weeks. I had 3 months in hospital. So what I'm always just saying here, I tapped in and realized that your mind is the most powerful tool, ladies. Tap into it. So no matter what, you get told the C word. Could also be COVID today, because some people, they get told and they think, life is over. No. My friend, you have that in you. Everybody is a warrior, warrioress. You can dig down into that energy and tap into it, no matter what. And that's one of the things I've realized about rallying. Sometimes we drive, there's a little roadblock, there's a triple caution block. But what does it do? It makes us to think, rethink, slow down, kidogo. But you see the end at the end of it. Never ever give up is what I'm just saying to you. So I call those little guys in my body squatters. Yani, I'm going to flush you out. You are squatting in the wrong body, my friend. Yeah? I had massive conversations with them because I had nobody else to talk to in ICU, right? So me and the squatters, hey, they learned that was the problem. You're in the wrong body, out. Yeah? And again, so just remember, your mind is that most powerful tool. I'll never ever get sick again. But many things happen to me in my life. Like you need to get sick. We don't have time. It's attitude with a capital A.
Got it. Wow.
Amazing.
That one needed this.
Yeah, that one you need to clap
Wow.
for. So I'm just going to go around, each one of us, and when you hear challenges, wins, like maybe we could even start with you, Suzie, and talk to us about how do you overcome a challenge?
Yeah. How do you overcome a challenge? What?
Oh, sorry, you never had challenges before.
The hardest question. Sorry, challenges. Okay, so first of all, challenges are from the second you wake up until the second you sleep. I say, you look at yourself. One of my best statements is, you're the only one that sleeps with yourself and wakes up with yourself every single day. So it's about you, taking care of you. It's not about your child. It's not about your husband. It's not about your work. It's not, so you first, and then the rest. My challenges are wild, like, are you ready? We don't have the time. There's work, which is insanity. There's family, which is insanity. There's bringing up children, which is insanity. There's ailing parents, which is there's bills. So it's about, you have to keep. So what I do is, like, if I can't handle something right now immediately, I've gotten, in my 40s, I got very good at shelving. If I can't handle you right now, I'm not gonna deal with you, you guys. Because I can't, right? There's something else that I can.
So would you say it's just sort of putting things away and dealing with it later?
And also not procrastinating where it's going to be detrimental. But you can shelve it for a bit until you can handle it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how.
There's a little bit of a tip.
Something.
Yeah. But I'm going to ask you, Kwamboka. Kapow. Can we kapow our challenges away? Is that a solution? Can we kapow our challenges?
Absolutely. First, Lisa, what I'm still reeling from everything. You're my tribe completely. I started on this journey where what she's talking about the power of the mind, and I've seen just how revolutionary it is. I mean, I haven't yet dealt with, but on a daily basis, especially now, I find that by the time you leave your bed, like 1 hour in, you've already consumed so much world. Not
world.
So
much world. I like that.
Yeah. There's so much world, and then I'm just like, where am I going to live my life with all this nonsense? Right? So I find that information, like today I was reading something where we were talking about the ear being a womb. Right? All the things that you take in. Yeah, I'm a radio presenter. I take in a lot of things.
Oh my God.
My ears.
Are you?
So,
I didn't know that.
For me, what I do, people say that I'm very selfish with my time. Like, even calls, even text messages, emails, just communication, because I find that if I have to be the best version of myself, I have to scoop a part of the world for myself. And so, that's how I'm kapowing things, by leaving them out of my life. The world. But when it's dealing with real life issues, I know what I said sounded like a soundbite. But when you're dealing with real life issues, and I this year I had a real life issue challenge me, and believe me, when I'm hearing Lisa talk, that's exactly what I decided to do. I decided to have a chat with this issue, and because you realize that when you're going through something, you're literally by yourself. Like, you could have people around you, but in that moment you're by yourself. So I had to have a chat. So when I'm hearing you talk about it, I'm like, we need to start a church. And tell everybody about this goodness, because like your mind is basically where everything is at. And so the most important thing I'd say is, when you're getting out of bed, please check yourself before you go out there and wreck yourself.
Hey, kapow, kapow. I'm gonna now ask Tracy, because Tracy, she's giving it to you. It's okay, here, Tracy. But let me ask Tracy, before we come to you, when you say that you walk with God a lot, and so many of us, like, I don't know, Carol, or Lisa, when you went through what you went through, and when you're going through what you're going through, we question, is God really there? Like, how many of us have had those moments? Right? Kambua, I mean, like, we're just like, wait a second. Do you really exist? So maybe you can give us a little bit of like advice on how to continuously lean into something that we want to believe is there, but sometimes there is and injustices. Is it a complicated question?
No, I don't think it's complicated. It's not complicated, but when you're walking in it, it's very complicated because, you know, trying to believe in something that you're not seeing is very hard, right? You know, going through what Lisa and Carol went through, like, you can't even fathom, you know, being in such a situation. But I think that's where we just put into practice what you read in the Bible. I think it's one, especially when you walk with God as a Christian, it's really like, that's your manual. That's how you get through life, because without that word, it's really hard to walk to go through life. And I think questioning God is also really good, you know? Like, why am I going through this? Like, why is this happening? And honestly, I feel like I'm in a stage of my life where I'm just like, why? Like, make things make sense, you know? And the beauty about that is that when you seek, you know, you find answers. Sometimes, okay, so before I started my walk with God, when people used to say, you know, sometimes, you know, God told me, I'd be like, guys are having vivid conversations like that, you know. But then you come to realize that God is in every single thing that you're doing, right? In every single, even here, you know. I remember there's a day I really needed someone to talk to, right? And everything got dragged, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to keep wasting more time. Let me just get on a boda. Let me get to where I'm going. When I got to where I needed to go, I met my mom's best friend. And I was like, God, you wanted me to be there with her. And despite whatever I needed to do being very important, you know, she was like, come, let's go home, right? Because she didn't live so far from where I needed to go. So we went to her house, sat down. I literally was wailing for like an hour, you know? But when I left their house, I was like, you know what? Yeah, God wanted me to be here with her at this time. So it's like finding the meaning of life in every single thing that you're doing. You know, even that, okay, you talked about challenges, right? And one of the ways that I'm learning how to face challenges is literally kapowing them. Because I was the type of person who disassociates
I like that.
From
it's been our next pajamas.
Disassociating from the situation. But I realize it's very important for you to be in that moment, right? And learn whatever you need to learn in that moment. And man, God is always speaking. That's what I'm learning. He really is. And yeah, he is. I'm in a very good place with him. So yeah.
I like that. God is always.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Somehow.
No, you can leave now. No, I'm kidding. Kalekye, you're also very much, you know, into the spiritual aspect of life.
Not into. I am born again, and I love the Lord Jesus.
Amen.
It's very different. Spiritual and God. Different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe you can guide us as well. Just give us a little bit of insight on how, when we are going through a hard time, how we can sort of listen to learn and lean in.
So
but just very quickly.
Yeah,
just
so
in
I think
a nutshell.
One of the things about even taking the journey to be in Christ, sometimes it takes for him to break you until you have absolutely nothing and no one else. Absolutely nothing and no one else. And that was my story. And so by the time I was like, God, save me now or take me home, he then has been waiting for you to just say that, to receive you. And then
I love
show
the way
you.
you guys are like that. You know that podcast? Sorry.
I endorse that. So and so just getting the beauty for ashes, and then you kind of after that you're like, but that's when the journey really starts,
right?
Because the enemy's like, what? I just lost one, and so now he's after you. Okay, and things don't immediately start to go very well. You get some moments of greatness and whatever, and then now the more you dig deeper, the more the enemy's attacking you. So when it comes to challenges, I mean, I'll say it's been 7 years since I got born again, and that journey has had moments where I thought my life is going to end now. I can't do this anymore. This is too hard to keep on this journey. Why is this going on in my life? And I chose you.
You own everything, the wealth, the everything. It's you. So how am I in lack? Why am I finding that the doors are closing? Why am I alone? What do you mean? You said none shall lack a mate. What is happening, Lord? I chose you because a guy broke my heart and I thought I was going to die. And then now, hello, present the man. Anyway, it doesn't work like that. But what I did learn and what I am learning, and I'll say over the last year, has been that you just have to trust and tell him, your word said. So immerse yourself in what he said and remind him what he said. I say, God, in your word you said this. And so therefore I'm going to trust. And guess what? I'm not picking this thing up again.
Yeah.
And that is where I find my peace. Where I've said, okay, I know this isn't there. I know I'm supposed to be doing this and this, but it hasn't happened, but I trust you. And when you do trust and then you stop worrying, he's the God of the 11th hour. He just, ta-da, things happen. So for me, the challenges have been fighting with trying to do things myself. I'm a go-getter. I like to do things. But God has been teaching me, when you're done, when you are done, I'll pick up. Because you're going to keep trying and you'll keep hitting the wall. So when I finally said, I'll pray about it, I'll leave it at your feet, and I walk away, is when things started working. Yeah.
When you let it go. Let go.
Let go. Yeah, let God. There you go.
They say if you're a bad singer and you sing in front of people, you really trust us. So I
Completely, wholly and solely trust y'all, and everybody who's watching. Adelle. So I started this Pink October thing on radio very many years ago when your mom was the chairperson for the Breast Cancer Association. Yes. I knew your mom. I worked with your mom. Yeah. What a woman. Yeah. And so you have seen it firsthand. You've lost a mother to breast cancer. Just talk to us about, just give us something that we can sort of, for lack of a better way of putting it, feel some solace or feel better about this disease.
So when I hope not to cry. I always have false lashes. Because my mom always told me, don't look like your problem. So I'll cry later in the night so they don't fall off. Yeah. Wow, how many years ago was that? I think I was in class 5 or 6 when my mom was diagnosed, right? And she was my best friend and I see people talking about African parents and I'm just like, I can't relate. It's me. Had a good time, and so much so, even then, I knew my mom had cancer. We had the conversation, but the way she was carrying it, I wasn't scared until kids can be vicious. There's a kid who my sister beat up, which is good, but there's a kid who told me, oh, I heard your mom has cancer, she's going to die, right? And I was just like, wait, what? No one told, what's going on, right? And I was just like, who sent you and why? Even you're doing so much work. And so I think that was the first time I was just like, oh, so this thing is serious. Because I'd gotten used to celebrating birthdays in Nairobi hospital, when she's doing her chemo, you sit with her. So she had explained what she has, but there was no conversation of death, obviously, because she was in it to beat it, right? So that was when I was in class 5. And so it was on and off. My mom really battled it for a long time. But I think maybe let me start with the bad. When we talk about issues around illnesses like cancer, I think sometimes we forget about the caregivers and the support systems, because it's really draining. And there's moments where you don't know. You're just we're good, then we're in ICU, and it's just oh my God. So it's you're facing death when you recover, and you're no, we're good. Oh no, we're not good. Yeah. Oh no, we're good. So that back and forth is so difficult. And back then, because there wasn't good understanding, there weren't even group therapy sessions for care support systems. Now they're there, but they wasn't there then. So that was a bad. I think it was very draining, and it forced me to grow up really quickly. Like I didn't have the time to hang out or whatever. It was like, oh, we're going to, literally, anyone I dated in that period, we've done dates at Nairobi Hospital, or you take me and stuff like that. The good, I think, is I watched my mom take what was a challenge and use it to help other women. So like, we constantly had other breast cancer warriors in our house. Maybe they could only afford to come to Nairobi to go to Kenyatta Hospital, but not accommodation. Maybe they didn't have family here, etc. And so it's so crazy, like someone is another amazing woman, Jerry. I hope she's watching from Usikimie. She's also an amazing woman. And so, so I watched her. So we had all of these cancer warriors staying with us as they were going to do their treatment, etc. Then I watched her open the Kenya Breast Health Program. My mom was involved in like policy change around cancer in the country, taking the first mobile truck across the country to help women get, the clinical breast exams, etc. And so watching her, when I faced my own, I guess what people call challenges, even when I was hearing that, I was just like, I really don't know what a challenge is, It was just part of my chapter in this story, right? I don't really look at challenges as like, this is hell. You know what I mean? It's just another experience in this chapter in my story. And so when I faced those maybe difficult chapters, I kind of leaned into watching her own it. She was going through cancer when you'd get fired. Like my mom lost her job, right? Because people are like, oh, it's a death sentence. Let's move. You know what I mean? So exactly. So seeing that, and she had no shame. She was saying it very loudly. Long-winded answer, but I swear there's an end to it. I remember my mom having like, wigs were not even in. Now we all have a couple of ladies at home, right? But like, there were times she would have no hair, and I remember this one time because she was a very rough driver as well. Like I think I got it from her. So I fight with matatu drivers all the time, and she didn't allow a matatu guy to like overlap and overtake whatever. And he said, "Jomana huna nywele." And at that moment I was like, okay, it's funny, but like, how is she going to react? And she died of like, she was crying. She was like, yeah, but I'll still not let you in. So and so she had all of these moments where she was just kind of like owning it. She was not ashamed. So I say all this to say, like, for me, what I'm very, I don't know what the term is, but I feel very connected to anyone who has passed on in my lineage, right? And so I really, like, I walk with my ancestors, right? I feel them. When I walk into a room, I'm not one person. Especially when you talk about mother-child bonding, I'm just like, the scientists haven't figured it out, but that thing, it can't be broken. It can't be broken. And so what I take from it now is just no shame. Let me tell you, women, we are given even things that happen to our bodies that we don't know, like illness. We're told, okay, that is something to be ashamed about. You know what I mean? So for me now, I'm just like, there's no shame. Like, there's nothing you can tell me that I'm just like, okay, whether you want to say, she slept with 10,000 people. Yes, I have. Okay, next. Oh, she stole $1,000. Yes, I did. Next. You know what I mean? Because we're constant. And the shame, bringing it back to breast cancer, what I see with my mom, because we're even ashamed of our bodies. We don't know when something has gone wrong. There are women who don't know how, actually, that's not it's a normal word to say, who don't know what their vaginas look like, who don't know what their breasts look like. So you don't know when there's dimpling. You don't know when something has changed, right? Because even that is not ours. It's something to be ashamed of. So I think that journey just made me like, there's no shame. Shame is not something I'm wearing anymore. Yeah.
lot of people on YouTube, and if you are watching on YouTube and if you have any questions for our audience, please feel free, ask those questions. We have some giveaways for you. Yeah, so whoever's going to ask the first question, go ahead and ask, and you will get a giveaway. So, you have a question? You're not going to get a gift. Kidding, I'm kidding. She is a gift. But before your question, there was somebody who sneaked in here. I don't know if you noticed. She sneaked in. Oh, she's wearing red, not pink, a red hairband. I wonder if she'd like to introduce herself.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is
First of all, hi ladies.
First of all.
First of all. Yes, thank you, Pinky. Everyone is looking so lovely. Oh my gosh. I just had to take a moment. And my apologies. I had to rush from my radio show that ends at 7, and I had to be here. I'd already passed my. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Now I can talk. Asante. Thank you so much for the invite. And when I got it, I was just like, okay, fine. I know you'd have started way before I get here, but I have to be here. I think, okay, first introductions. Okay, so Mwalimu Rachel is my name. Radio presenter at Kiss FM. I have the drive show that I do with a co-host called DJ Exclusive. He passes his regards and his love. Yes, and my show is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'm also an entrepreneur and soon starting a book club, ladies. And I'd really love for everyone to come. I think it's important for, like you've said, about just being more confident and no shame. Many of the girls who are growing up watching us, I can't believe now we are the ones being looked at, by the way, before we were the little ones, right? And they probably are very silent about many things that happen to them. Be it in the workplace, be it in their own bodies, and until somebody points it out as well, they're like, oh, maybe something is wrong. So we need to let these girls and young ladies understand that they have a voice and they have to use their voice in any space that they're in. So just to get started off on the introductions first, Pinky, before I go on for too long. Yes, and then I'll tell you more about the book club later. Yes.
Mama, who says, I love what Kalekye has been saying, immerse yourself in his word. Immerse yourself in his word. Tell him, God, you said this. Let God pick you up at the 11th hour. So amazing. Faith Tirop says, I love this conversation. And Dr. Gaitumia. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good that you're addressing this issue. You're touching the lives of many. Over to you, Tracy. You have a question.
Yes. So I wanted to ask, and this is to Lisa, Adelle, and Carol. I've always wanted to understand how best, we can support, someone going through it. Because sometimes you feel like maybe what I'm saying is not enough. Maybe what I'm doing is not enough. And you want to make sure that the person feels the impact, and I guess when you're on the other end, you don't really feel like you're doing anything. So maybe you can start with Carol.
I'll borrow from what Sheila said about, at the end of the day, you actually go the journey alone. Every time I'd get chemotherapy, and I had traveled with my elder sister, and they'll bring the consent form. I don't know if, Lisa, you went through that. They bring the consent form, and my sister would stand next to me, and the nurses would be like, the patient, please. Nobody can sign a consent form for you, and nobody can take the chemotherapy for you. My sister, Winnie, shout out, wheeled me to theater. Then it got to a point, and she was told, we'll call you. So being present is very good, but you have to be present for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's you. It's your journey, and for you to be strong, I'm even whispering to Maureen here, and I'm saying, I had no other option. I had to be strong for my son, Ralph, and for everybody who was rooting for me. So be present for your friends, for your family, but be present for yourself first. Because people will support you by how you're supporting yourself. And sorry, I'm running over, but when I came back and I went to Shags, my mom was looking at me through the window. She was like, how does she look? And then she saw me, she was like, Shiko, you look so beautiful. So you have to be present and wear lipstick. Thank you. Pink lipstick. I wore lipstick for every chemotherapy session.
I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. Adele? Do you have a microphone?
So two things. I think I love hearing you because it's just reminding me of my mom. I think she was her mind was in the right place. And I don't know how she did it across, I want to say over 10 years, and showed up like every swimming gala, I started an open mic night. You can imagine we're doing poetry and performing songs. She was there, you know. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how she did it. But one thing I'll say about support that we always forget, I'll draw from like grief and people feeling like they're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, right? Imagine just do tasks for me. It's honestly, like I'm always just like, in the day, there are so many, there are things I have to do, right? And so even for me now, when the days I'm maybe going through a depressive episode or whatever, I'm very, like I'll ask my friend, hey, I don't want to leave my bed. Can you go do for me groceries? Stock my fridge with this, do this, etc. And now people just actually show up like that. If I say I'm sad, they're like, no problem. Are you still off of this? Okay, I'm on my way, right? So I think sometimes we wait to be told when we have the same routine, basically, right? So you can just look and say, hey, don't worry, I'm going to pick the kids up for you today, you know? And it doesn't even have to be a long conversation. Sometimes we're looking for the perfect words to say, or we just want that thing of like, we can sit together in silence. No, man, like the dishes need to be washed. Can you just, hey. Just do things so that I don't also have to fight this disease and think about, you know, yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting in silence. I'm gonna bring for me stories. Bring for me hot stories. I'm like, yeah, tell me what he did. Exactly.
Yeah, and Lisa. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, BFF. Yeah, it's on, don't worry.
So what I'd like to say to everybody.
Oh, sorry, darling. Sorry.
So what I'd like to say to everybody is, you know, go back to pen and paper. You know, everybody's so busy on their phones, on their iPads and everything, but taking pen and paper and writing your thoughts down, writing your emotions down. How do you feel? Like you just said, Suzie, when you wake up, we fight battles every freaking morning when we wake up. But also remember, words are very powerful. So when somebody says to me, I have a problem, Nikona shida. I have a big problem. What is that word? That doesn't exist. We have no problems. We have challenges. Yeah? So just remember that we all need to think about what comes out of our mouth before we actually complete any sentence. Right? And being encouraging. And sometimes you got to be tough. You know this? Oh, I'm so sorry all the time. No. I don't believe in that. I believe in like, girl, you're going to win it. You got to fight this through. And exactly like you just said, Carol, you're the only one that's going to be able to do it. There's nobody else that's going to fight those battles for you. You yourself have been given that chance in life, and they're there to make you stronger. To sometimes it's that rewind, rethink, and that's again going back to pen and paper and writing those stories down, writing your thoughts down, and sometimes it's like journaling. Every morning, just journal. It's so important because life goes by like this so fast. You know, we're working 10, 12 hours sometimes a day, and we don't even realize what has been going on. So that's just what I like to say, is like we should all just support each other. Know there's a support system, but it's not always about, here's a Kleenex tissue box, you know. No, suck it up. Life is tough sometimes, but we get through it, and, you know, with good friends. Yeah, it's tough love.
Can I just add something onto it, actually? Procrastination is one of our biggest battles. And I learned at a very young age because I had a lot of things happen to me in my life. I think every woman has a story. I have my own. Today we're talking about breast cancer, so mine on the side. Mind over matter is always what we say to each other, but it's one of the hardest things to do. I have fought procrastination, or did, for a very long time, but then once I learned to let go and let God, every day there's a challenge, but everything is made specifically for you, designed for you. They're your challenges. Back to what, we've been talking about God. God is the omnipotent. So you question, why is there demonic entities on this planet? Then you start to question, back to what Lisa said about spirituality. Your spirit will always be young. Your body isn't. You can choose to survive, you can choose to die. Again, your mind is the most powerful thing. You can choose to heal yourself, you can choose to drain. So why is there spiritual entities that are constantly attacking us? As Kalekye said, every battle will become greater and bigger the more successful you are, because the challenges are greater, because you're a powerhouse. So you will keep growing, keep getting challenges. But now, where do you deal with that angel and devil on your shoulder, the voice in your head? I learned simply one thing. They're going to come. I rebuke them and send them back to where they came from. Constantly, in the car I'm driving, I see an accident. It's not happening, but in my head, I'm like, is it me? Constantly the negative thoughts in the head. You think about your kids, you're like, oh my God. That's why they say, always pray when you wake up to whatever spirituality you believe, whether it's God, Buddha, whichever. Everybody their own, and protect yourself, protect your mindset. And every moment that thought comes, just rebuke it. Eventually you become a pro, they never come. I no longer have those dawning thoughts, and when they come, I'm like, hold on. We are not tilting over, we are not going back. Every time there's a challenge that I can't handle, I black out. That's how I deal with it, because I'm like, I need to shut up, I need to talk to myself in my head, I need to speak to God. I wake up, I'm rejuvenated, I'm like, let's go. I don't know how to shelve problems, I deal with them head on. So that's just who I am. I'm a Capricorn, I'm hard-headed, I'm a workaholic. I practically work 24 hours a day. I'll black out, I'll still get up to work, because as Lisa said, there's not enough hours in a day. You've got too many things to do. And when you are working for yourself and you are motivation to people, you are the leader to people, they look up to you, you have to talk your truth, you have to walk your truth. You're their inspiration. My friend, you've taken on a role that does not allow a lot of time to rest. So when you're on your holiday, you go black out, I'm not talking to anyone. You have to have your moments to rejuvenate yourself. But whilst you're working and you're working for people, you need to know to talk to yourself. I talk to myself 24/7. I'm like, I don't care. There's not too much information out there. I tell my kids anything and everything. People be like, oh my God, it's PG. And I'm like, no, there's no PG or whatever. Exactly. So when people are like, oh, you're crazy, I talk to myself in traffic. I talk to myself in traffic, talk to myself in the mirror. Everyone's like, you're going to go crazy one of these days. And I'm like, no, I'm talking to myself because I'm schooling myself.
Yeah.
Simple.
Sorry, can I just say, I know.
Yes, you can.
There's something she said that I think is so important, especially for women, because of how we are socialized. You don't have to believe every thought you have. Like, you really don't. Yeah. And you interrogate it, because the thoughts you're having are products of years of being socialized to believe certain things. So even when a thought comes, it doesn't mean don't. It could be fear, because your body will always reject things that are unfamiliar. So it's just like the thought comes and you're like, okay, let's sit with this. Am I really going to be in an accident here? No, I've overthought this situation. You don't have to believe every thought.
I love that.
That's a good one.
That's a nice one. I think we have lots of slogans for T-shirts for the next pajama party from this. Janet. Hello, Janet.
Just listening.
Listening, observing.
Yeah.
I love the pajamas.
Thank
First
you.
of all, it's very cool.
Trying to elevate my life.
Right, yeah, girl, demure. How do you celebrate your wins? What are you
She's asking
about?
if I really sleep in this pajama. I'm like, Sonia, you might.
She doesn't.
Look up a live stream.
Janet,
Wow.
1 second. Let's just go around the room and see who really sleeps in what they're wearing.
Kambua is like confidently.
Look at this one's ears. This one is not listening. That's what she said. Valentine sleeps like that. Valentine sleeps with head back. Anyway.
Sorry, we digress.
We digress. But
Sorry,
we digress.
sorry.
But facts.
Yes, sorry.
You know, like, I like that you followed the pyjama.
Thank you. Through and through.
How do you celebrate your wins, Janet? Because you know you're a winner through and through.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. So first of all, I know I introduced myself, but the thing I didn't mention is I really believe I'm a woman becoming. And that's because there's a lot of, it's similar to what Adelle said. There's a lot of truths I've had to unpack. A lot of things that I initially held as true. So I'm really in my season of unpacking. So I find myself in rooms now where I'm really listening. I feel like I process things. Things land for me later, not because I'm slow, let's be. But it's this movement. It's just how I'm structured. So nowadays I take time with I'm patient with myself. I wasn't always. Because I was like, you have many layers to you. And people maybe want you to be this way in a race. And I'm like, but I don't want to be there now. I'm good to get myself there in my own time. I think my kids helped me be patient with myself because I think they were patient with me when I was navigating all the things that I had to. And I realized a lot of my anxieties or just feelings of lowness were because of meeting expectations.
Yeah.
You know, people have an expectation of, not just me, but women especially. Right. And then I just said, but there's no race here.
Yeah.
There's no race.
Like actually.
Yeah, there's no actual race. So I'm going to navigate the way, what I need to, how I need to, whether it's work, whether it's parenting, whether it's relationships, whether it's family. And so that's been a season, and I think it's landing now. I feel like I'm thinking and talking. I also really resonate with having a meeting with yourself. I first had
you've said that so many times.
I really, but I had an actual one, physically on the dining table, and I put my sons to bed once in 2020. I'm like, just unpack.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm talking out loud. I'm like, you have called yourself to a meeting.
Who's taking minutes?
Yeah, I was taking the minutes. And I think we're scared of having a meeting with ourselves because sometimes we're scared of what you'll find.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I just needed to face some truths and some realities. But it's the greatest gift I gave myself. I went through the trenches after, but I'm like, it's okay. You have to go through
you have
to come out on the other side. Yeah. And I think there's also a lot of things we need to, I don't want to say normalize, but we need to recognize as truths which are not necessarily bad. Number one, yes, you're going to go through something. Validate how it's affected you, but see it through. Did it teach you? Did it mold you? Did it kind of like express your triggers or your toxic traits? Whatever it is, the next kind of hurdle makes me approach it a bit differently. I feel like I've not answered your question. How do I celebrate my wins?
Yes.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like I
just want to talk.
So many people here, media, content, podcast, excuse me, Pinky, you did this.
And I thought we have 1 hour.
And it's like, we're just going to talk for 1 hour, 3 hours later, then you're here. So I don't know that I process things that way anymore. I feel like a win for me is being able to have a healthier thought process than I did the day before. Mm-hmm. It can be that.
Okay.
And when I do, and I find myself on the other side, I think I recognize it, I process it, and I say, just like, normalize that. Let that be your DNA now, not the DNA that you normalized years before. I think it's helped me even with work, with parenting, not relationships. Hey.
Okay, sister.
That's okay.
I was like, time out.
It's okay.
2024, time out. But also it's being single this whole year has given me so much peace that I think it's dangerous. But I also think I just needed to be alone. I was just like, Janet, be alone. I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, first of all, there's children. I have my 2 sons. I have my dogs. I have friends and relatives and all of this. But I don't think I'd ever taken time to unpack Janet, who are you outside of a relationship? What does that look like? What does that mean? Why are you afraid? Why do you always seek company or validation? Why? It's been a gift because now if I go back, I have a much healthier mindset. how do I celebrate my wins? You see, Pinky, I'm finishing.
I forgot.
Kwamboka is looking at me like, who you sit and why could I? You'll never come to Chris. Never come to my radio show.
Okay, so
I'm sorry,
people were not
Pinky.
inviting
I know,
to the
people
next
not
pyjama
invited
party.
on the interviews. But see, it's valid information sharing.
So let's just put it this way, Janet. We celebrate your
Thank
wins.
you.
And we love you.
Well, I love you guys.
Celebrate them with us.
Oh, yay! Oh, that's dope.
We're discovering.
Yes.
You don't celebrate your wins.
Yeah. Wow. Oh.
feel like.
Wait.
That's what's coming out.
You don't celebrate your wins.
I think that's part of it. I like how this has quickly converted to a therapy session.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask
Wait.
is just come back.
Do I actually cheers?
With yourself. This thing
What?
Is it working? Okay. I actually think it's a thing we struggle with as women. Yes. You're quick to say next. Yeah. I've really noticed that this year with doing something I've never done before, like, coming up with beauty products, hiring a chemist, taking a course in formulation, hiring a team I had no idea how to hire, all that stuff. And it's been my partner who's actually like, babe, chill. Like, we actually have a product. I'm like, yeah, but there's a whole list, and there's this and this, and this one failed, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, just like pause, like just breathe and just be with it. Like, we actually have a thing, And it's a struggle because you feel like I'm late. Okay, I feel like I'm late. Let me not project. I feel like I'm late. I'm like, no. These things we should have launched in July. It's already September. It's blah, blah, blah. This thing is taking too long. So I think it's even when other people tell you, I'm learning. I recognize your struggle. That's why I was like, can I talk? Because it's difficult to even pat yourself on the back and say, you wanted this, you reached for it, and look, it actually exists. Yeah. Because we're all so proud of you. Like, I was watching you, I'm like, look at Janet flying, literally. And then, right? Like, there's a thing where you are like, there's a thing where you are like, oh, I get to do this, and I was like, no, they get you, like,
Before we continue. No, that's
Valentine. 1 minute. So we are actually an hour into our conversation, believe it or not. So I'm going to encourage you to, I know there's so much to say. I know, and I love hearing from all of you, but just try and keep it as brief as possible.
Not like me.
Yeah, next time we'll have more time. But
also, because there will be a next time.
I don't know how to summarize.
But I want to just acknowledge some of the people who are watching. Wayua says, I appreciate what you're doing. Winnie Wayua, and my question is, how can lifestyle choices impact breast cancer risk? We're going to get to this. Magdalene is saying that this is quite an interesting and much needed conversation. Totally agree with Adele on why we should not be ashamed of our different bodies. Understand your body because it's powerful. Edith, how do you overcome I can hand this job, by the way, to anyone in this room because you're all capable. How do you overcome negative thoughts in your mind? Claire says, I'm thrilled to be a part of this. It's inspiring to see incredible women come together for cancer awareness. And Raymond is asking, how should I disclose this illness to family members? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, because some of these questions are quite deep and heavy, but we're going to lighten it just a little bit. Just going to go up a little bit. I want to talk to Vesha. Vesha's been silent all this time. Vesha, growing up, a conversation that you had maybe about your body, and any thoughts. Sorry if I'm throwing you, because everything else has been sort of like really empowering, challenging. But any thoughts about your body or your boobs that you remember growing up as a child?
Okay, so I grew up in a Christian home. My dad is a pastor. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Let's talk about your daughter's boobs on YouTube.
Now, being an SDA, there is a way you should be dressed as a young lady. there are a lot of things that were frowned upon. I remember I wore my first mini skirt when my dad and my mom divorced, and my dad was like, "Would Jesus be happy?" But my mom was like, "No, you have beautiful legs. You can show it if you want." But it was very much frowned upon. It felt like you were wearing it for the other gender to pay attention to you. It wasn't because you have something beautiful, you can showcase it, and it's not wrong, and it's not to appease anybody other than yourself. So with that, there was a lot of conservativeness in terms of how you present yourself as a young lady. First, I have very small boobs. Can you guys see?
Too.
Yeah.
Can I donate?
No. So it used to feel like having small boobs is a wrong thing. There's a lot of body shaming around it. Yes. Yeah, there's body shaming. Yeah, it's like, I think now from the internet perspective, we've been told we have dots. Like, yes. So. So it took a lot to just know that I am enough the way I am. I don't need, and then I'm also Luo, guys. So Luo women, we are well endorsed in a lot of spaces. Yes, they come like.
You don't have mosquito.
Yeah. So there was that. There was a lot of body shaming, and it had to take my mom. I keep saying their divorce was a blessing in disguise, because we were able to learn ourselves as ladies. Because my dad has. We are 3 girls. So mom started preaching this thing in our heads. You're beautiful the way you are. Who said big boobs are the way to go? Yeah. The one that God has given you, it will do just the right job. And it even came with the dressing. We were now allowed to wear clothes that are fitting there. They can show the legs, and I really love my legs. They're like my selling point. Yeah. I would have shown you guys, but Pinky said we dress decent. Oh, okay, sorry.
Did I say
okay,
dress
sorry.
decent?
No, I thought because of the cameras, you have to dress decent.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so there was a lot of that, and unfortunately, in most Christian families, a lot of girls grow up with that perception. You cannot show this. You have to wear dresses that literally are ankle length. In fact, if you're wearing a top, it has to, cover your hands. And to be honest, I'm going to use this word, it's a lot of bullshit. Yeah, because then it makes you have a certain perception of yourself, and now you look for affirmations from each and every person that you meet along the way, which ideally it is not their job to remind you of who you are and what you have to offer. Yeah,
I like it. Maureen, let me ask you, what is the best advice you have been given about wellness, your own wellness? Do you have a microphone for Maureen?
Oh, there's so many. Yeah. Rejected me. And I'm next guy. Okay, let's
Ring them
all.
Mic test. This one is working. Oh my god. What a good question. First of all, team small boobs. I breastfed 2 boys, and you all know how they look healthy, yeah? They look healthy. It did what it's supposed to do. Yes. they did what they needed to do. And they still look good, by the way.
The girls are girly.
This is a padded bra. They grow. They grow. Yeah, I look at my mom and I'm like, where they grow? When? The small ones. Damn, what are you saying? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a bra.
Yes.
Can I tell you something?
These are not small.
We've been arguing for half an hour.
Those are small boobs. Those are small boobs. Those are small boobs.
You guys, this is my bra, my pattern. Nitoy. No.
YouTube.
For the longest time,
Are these small boobs? These are not small boobs.
I don't even know.
All right.
You guys. Anyway, but still, they did what they needed to do.
Hey.
Quickly tell
Focus.
us. Quickly
God,
tell
God
us.
knows. Yeah, you have to be given one thing or the other. The best wellness advice I've ever gotten is that if you don't make time for your wellness, do you know how it goes?
You get sick.
Yes.
If you will
Illness
force, you will
make
be
time
forced.
for you. You will go down. And also to, again, and I think everybody in this room can attest, especially growing up in an African family, there's always the body shaming, the body changes. Some of us who are on social media, it's like somebody lives there with a microscope. Ooh, she's added a bit of weight. Oh, she's lost some. They're never satisfied. But then it's about being your best self. Are you healthy? Are you getting your yearly checkups? Is your cholesterol? You know, those small things. Yeah? If you're happy with that, F everybody else. Sorry, Jesus. But it has to be said, yeah? And the thing is, case in point, like Lisa, Carol, and a friend who just beat something that was being treated via chemotherapy. You know, it's not just cancer that you can treat via this. Let me tell you, it does not pick, it does not choose. We are all susceptible to anything. If you're not affected, we are. If you're not infected, or if you don't have it, someone around us is. So it's good to extend grace. I know I'm going over the question, but yes, make time for your wellness, because if you don't, somehow it will catch up with you. Yeah.
What I was told because it was by someone here years ago. She doesn't even remember it, but I held it for. Maybe it was when you started Dada Sphere. What year was my Dada Sphere? 2018. So 2018, she told me, speak to yourself as you would your lover. And she was like, I call myself sweetheart, and it really stayed with me. And now, I've said it so many times. Yeah, I was told this is. Now I found myself, my inner voice is the kindest woman ever. I was drumming one day, because I'm learning how to play the drums, and I have to record my homework to send it to my teacher. And I messed up. I literally said loudly, I was like, oh no, that's not the note, love. And I was just like, what did you do? And I always think of you, because you told me that. Yeah.
You know, there's an aunt of mine. She's like almost 80 years old. She looks amazing. She's like, when you look at her, she still looks maybe 60 or 55. She says to me every day, she wakes up and she taps her body and she says, good morning, cells, I love you. Aww. Good morning. Yeah, good morning, breasts. Good morning, liver, stomach. I thought that's so beautiful. I love you. I love you, bones. I love you, this.
What Dinky's saying,
And that's why she looks
online where we showed, I don't know if it's mushrooms, rice, or I don't know what. That's in 2 different glasses. The one that's told I love, that's spoken to with love and affirmation of positive energy, it stays, it's water, it stays healthy. The other one rots. It's told nothing. So exactly what you're saying, your body is, everything is alive. When they say God is in everything, your body is alive. So thank you. I'm going to start saying that to myself.
Yeah, same here.
Apart from
well, yeah. But guys, sorry, this is an intrusive thought. The Kikuyu in me is thinking, why can't we do this more often? I can see a whole podcast with all these women.
How many of us have podcasts?
Well, to be in the plan. I think so. This is.
Can you put us all on
This is power.
Pinky,
this is power.
I'd like
right
to
here.
ask you actually in return, because you've asked all of us, and we know you're a very busy woman, but we have to take a little break. You said hi, energy, positive. How do you deal with all of us and with everything? Because you are one hell of a busy woman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Right back at you. Because we
need many hours for that response. I have, it's hiding in the
You know how
boobies.
to break it down. You're a professional.
It's priorities. I think everybody here will agree. Prioritizing what's important, what's not.
Yeah.
The first thing for me is my babies, then it's my husband, then it's my mom. And you know, that's family, so included dogs, cats, that comes in there. And then it's also having a great team who sort of support. And I'm very lucky to have the team that I do. You know, like the other day we were filming at Sarat, and like I had like 5 people following me. Everybody was looking around at me, and I'm like, no, but it's so, because everybody is playing, you know, a part. And I think also, as very busy people, everybody in here is a very busy person, you need to be able to let go and delegate and sort of,
Delegation.
because that's so important. It takes off so much. So, you know, when you're worried about your product coming out later than it should, get someone else to take that off. You won't stop stressing, but yeah. Yes.
Something very Barnum.
Do you need a microphone? She needs a microphone.
When she's done, can we just all celebrate each other? Because we never do
Wait,
that,
I
you know?
still have questions.
Sorry.
I still have questions.
I jumped on because I have something called chemo brain.
Yeah.
If I don't say it now, I'll forget.
Yes.
So as you're saying about prioritizing, I have one child. I've never left him. I never go anywhere without him. Even whatever it is I have done for the time I've had him. And then I got sick. I had to go to India. I had to leave him. So you have to know you're not in control. There comes a time when you're not in control and you have to let go. I had to leave my child behind and had to trust. Priority was he needs me and he needs me healthy. So I have to leave him for the time I'm going to leave him, but I left him. Yeah.
You also sort of have to have that conversation with yourself, where you're like, I need to do this, and maybe I won't make one of the kids' schools, you know, concerts or plays or whatever, but the end goal is bigger. Kambua, hi. Oh my God, hi Kambua.
I'm taking it all in.
What? Yeah. I know.
Can you talk in
no,
song?
I can. Can you talk? Yeah, can you talk in song? What do you think a younger version of you would have thought? Like, what would a younger version of you would have thought of a conversation like this?
Oh, wow. A younger version of me probably didn't know how much she needed a conversation like this. I feel like when I was younger, and I was speaking to someone this morning, a friend of mine, and we're talking about different things, motherhood, marriage, etc., that we haven't had enough honest conversations. And so when you find yourself in it, motherhood, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, and it's beautiful, but it's hard. It's the ghetto, but it's beautiful. But you almost feel like, I wish people told me more about motherhood. Or you get into marriage, it's beautiful, but you're also like, oh my gosh, you know? And so when I was younger, as a younger girl, as a teenager or young adult, conversations like this, I feel like maybe they didn't exist in my circles. So you've had to figure things out on your own and make so many mistakes that you didn't have to, that you could have learned from each other. So, I mean, younger Kambua is probably sitting back and is like, wow, how blessed we are to be in this moment and be able to speak so openly and so honestly about ourselves, our bodies, and the things that we are learning and what we are unpacking. So yeah, that's what younger Kambua would probably just wish this had happened then. Yeah, so this is amazing.
So also maybe that's something that we can encourage anybody who's younger to sort of have conversation, like have a pajama party. And have a conversation like this, right?
Have your version of, you know, what that
this.
community looks like for you. Safe spaces, you know, a space where you're not trying to put on something that you're not, and can ask very openly and honestly about life.
Yeah, because we're all just figuring it out, you know. Sometimes I feel like we're all kurutus in our own lanes, right? And, you know, when you realize that, it's true, girl. A kurutu Adelle is an amateur.
No.
Because we've okay, I just taught you a Swahili word. That's very big, by the way. No, it's not an insult. It's not an insult. A kurutu is an amateur. Yeah. It's this is why I don't know it, guys. It's how it's used. But a kurutu, yes, it's how it's been used. But it's not a bad word. Simply to say we're all trying to figure it out. I've never been Kambua before. I've never lived this life before. I've never been a mother before. I've never been a wife before. So we're all figuring it out. And when we realize that, then I find it easier to ask for help, to ask questions, to, you know, run my race and of course to stay anchored. And for me, my anchor has always been my faith and my walk with God, just because I realize that God is the only constant when everything else changes. So I'm able to adjust to every variable that life brings me when there's that constant that I can stay plugged onto. So, hallelujah, church.
You know, it's so crazy. Every time, I think even when I was doing Dada's Fair, oh my God, Dada's Fair.
Okay, first, how many have done Dada's Fair?
Thank you, ladies.
Oh, I thought there were many more.
You're so confident.
I think all of us have done
it at Dada's Fair.
Sorry. One meeting, please.
So yeah, for sure. No, but growing up, I was, you know, somebody talked about labeling in an African household, right? So I was labeled a tomboy. And then basically just, you're put in a box and that's just that. So I always assumed that, you know, I always feared actually having women friends, right? There was always a stereotype, you know, girls had a certain way that they saw, like, oh, you don't look like us, so you can't sit with us. And then also I was tall, and then I realized I'm actually tall everywhere. Like I thought I was only tall in Kenya. I'm tall everywhere. So yeah. So I created a safe space for myself, right? I embraced being a tomboy, and I stopped embracing connecting with women, and so. When I got to my 30s is when I started really embracing it, right? I was always suspicious of women friendships, right? Because I'm just like... And then no, but also, you see, that child, I hope they're dead. The one who was telling us... okay, not dead, but I hope they're suffering somewhere. Like, what kind of mean stuff are these things? But I know, like, you know... Anyway, I'm messing around. But, like... Kids, you know, women can be vicious. Like, you don't realize, especially girl squads. Like, yeah. So basically, I'm not about to deal with mean girls. Let me go play basketball. Let me go do other things. But then when you hit your 30s, you realize the body is one. It doesn't matter whether you have a G cup, whether you gyrate for a living. Yeah. Whether I used to even be made fun of about even rolling your eyes, guys. Like. You know, I don't know how to roll my eyes, and I practiced, guys. Now I can give you a bombastic. No. I don't want you to start questioning yourself. No, but just zeroing in on what she was talking about, and the more pajama parties need to happen. There's I then realized that I wasn't only being isolated because I was a tomboy. There were so many other girls who were also being isolated, and I was like, what? But you're also being isolated. I thought I was hanging out with the boys because, yeah, but in the process of that, you miss a lot of things. You see, when she's saying kurutu, you're dealing with it by yourself. You know, things are happening. Your body is changing and things are happening, but you can't talk to anyone because if I tell you, she'll be like, oh, you guess what is happening to Sheila, right? So I'm excited to be a part of this, and that's why I show up for Pinky and Valentine. And if you got any women's stuff you're doing, I'm there. Why? Because for the young Sheila, I want her to know that she didn't need to do it by herself. Yeah.
You're the quietest. The most silent.
Oh my God, she hasn't said even one thing.
Nothing. She's been so quiet. Tell us, how do you experience wellness?
It's I don't think during my growing up, I didn't have anyone to talk to about even being a girl, being a woman. I started my Ps very late. I was in Form 4, and I remember I lost my mom at a very young age, so I didn't have anyone to talk to me regarding being a girl, having boobs and all that. I also didn't have boobs until I was done with my Form 4. I suffered the same thing, you don't have boobs, and I used to feel so bad. I used to say, the moment I have boobs, I'll be touching them. I'll be, and I did, but so I remember the first time I heard about periods and all that, I had my mom and her twin sister talking to my big sister, and we were all told, you need to go to sleep, and I was nosy. I was like, why isn't Doreen going to sleep? What are you saying? Like, you in the sitting room and you're talking about shoo. And now I know she had started her Ps, and I was really young. And then my mom passed on, and I remember one time my dad, when I was done with my Form 4, my little sister was done with her Class 8, and I think my dad was like, how do I say this? And he was leaving for work, and he sat us down. And I don't know how he did it, man, because we were not even looking at each other. He was just like, nilikuwa nataka kuuliza shiko na bridge. Mmeanza zile vitu za mama. I was like, my God. It was just like, oh my goodness. And through this while, from 2006 to 2013, 2007 to 2013, we had a stepmom. She never told us about anything to do with women, all that. And by this time, my dad and her, they had separated. So I think my dad was like, "Sijoit's crazy for Nunu. Let me just, are you okay? Like, is this thing happening to you?" And I had just started before my KCSE, and I was like, and my sister was like, she also just started, and we were like, it was like a shame. But when I look at it now, I think you should be able to tell your dad, yes, I'm doing this, and I don't know what to do, like I'm here. But I really believe that my dad did so well, because when I talk to other girls, they their dads don't know what is happening. They never know, and we're like, I just started, Nini, and then he was like, here's the money, get whatever you need. He also told us to get some boob tops if you wanna get, but we were just like, I don't wanna look at him, And then he was leaving. That was the first time I felt hard, and also felt like, this is normal. My dad knows. He actually knows I'm gonna have my Ps, and then, but anything else, it was ghetto. You just a day at a time. Things happen. Your boobs are painful. I'm just like, okay, they're growing. There was nothing. There was nobody to tell me, and I think my younger self. I think I'm gonna represent a bigger, a bigger sister to any girl, so that you're not confused, and you're not just living a day at a time or a minute at a time, because you don't know, okay, what's happening with my body. And everything else, I think I've figured it myself with God. Yeah.
I love how God
just keeps coming up in
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah.
and like I said before, like I remember when my mom had her stroke, I really fought with God. I really, really fought. And it, maybe up until even 2 years ago, I was still like, I'm not talking to you. Not yet. But yeah, now, you know, it's that whole walking in faith and everything. And also, you know, when you talk about like your journey with your periods and everything, Janet, thank you for your book.
Yes.
Honestly, Ariana, my daughter, I knew, I never shown her the book, and we walked into Textbook Center, and I said to her, I said, pick this book up, and she picked it up, and I said, go through it. And she went through it, and she was like, Mama, that's your photo. And I said, yes, and there's a letter for you in this book. Wow. And she made me buy the book, as much as I had the book already at home. And then she held on to it, and she goes, do you know the person who wrote this book? I said, yes. And we met her at a party, and she knew that Janet was coming, so she carried this book, and she made her sign it. And because of that, she was so aware of what to expect. And so thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Jeanette.
you. Thank you. No,
Yeah.
I just love how open we're becoming, even as we're figuring things out.
Yes.
You know, and there's a lot of resources. I look at a lot of younger communicators. I'm like, wow, you all really go deep into this conversation. But it's a shame when people don't have it, because, like right now, even the numbers around things like teen pregnancy, HIV/AIDS among adolescent girls, it's some of the highest it's been, and it's because there's a censorship. Censorship doesn't achieve anything other than hiding, other than, you know, issue scaling. So stigma, and I'm like, yeah, it goes back to what we've all said. We were kind of forced to look at our body or not look at them. I got my period, I was told, you let a boy touch you, you're gonna get pregnant. So guys would come near me, I'd be like, don't breathe on me, you know? But it affects so many things, you know, pregnant, there's so much, and we've been made to believe so many things about ourselves, and I think it's because people know how powerful and incredible women are. And so you have to be scared and silenced into your corner. Because as I've gotten older, I'm like, we're actually low-key superheroes.
Yes.
And then people don't know what to do with superheroes. They're like, we either banish you or we create stigma against you. So the more you come into yourself, the more you're like, oh, it was a hoax. So I keep telling people, be happy that you're getting older, that you're leaning into your 30s, and there's so much gift in it. 20s, Gen Z, you can Vesha. Embrace. And embrace the body you're in, embrace the mind. I love how we all have conversations. I love that thing about saying, you know, hi love, yeah, you know, you're doing it. But it's things we didn't know, and I think having this community, either if it's through what you've done, or Valentine, or Kambua, Adelle, like a lot of shared information here has reached us and reached people. I'm not sure I was going with this spiel, but I was just very encouraged to be like, this is such a good room, and we need so many rooms like this. And yeah, I don't know. I think we're doing us favor.
I think a thing we've overlooked is resources. No, just to add, because we have an audience that's watching, I realize, you know, it's so crazy. You think that now with the internet, everybody's doing research. Wrong. Wrong. It's yeah. So you find a lot of people get their information from social media, right? And with the internet, there is a lot of resources about your health. So as much as I do learn from other women, majority, I have to be honest, of the information I get about my body, I research, right? And I've got questions for you, especially the thing that you felt, because you said you were rubbing your hand like this and you felt something, how it felt, right? So you find just even the simple things that you think, you know, this right? No, people are not, you know, using the internet as a resource to learn about their bodies. And I feel like it should be part of life, learning.
There's an app called Know Your Lemons, which is pretty useful. Like it's even a website, you can go and look at it, and it shows you it shows it in the form of lemons, like what cancer may look like or feel like. So it's a great resource. It's really useful sort of to look at and refer to if you're ever in doubt. I remember we were taught, like, well, we were just in that whole.
In the shower.
But me, I feel all sorts of things. Then I'm like, no, I don't want to feel. Like, I don't want to feel anything here. You do go around, right? And yeah, like no. Kalekye, before I come to you, I want to ask Rachel, because we've not heard from Rachel. Rachel. We need to give her a mic, and then we've literally got 20 minutes left. So, you know the fun games, we were supposed to be having games and stuff like that.
We don't have to sleep before 1 a.m.
I mean, like, we can cut the live stream and we can continue.
Yeah. Is there a bedtime?
Yeah.
There's no bedtime.
The live stream, we need to end the live stream, but we can continue. There's no bedtime for us. Hello, we're grown women. Yes, we'll eat here. Can I ask you to just hold that thought? Let me just ask Rachel a question, because I need to, because I haven't heard from you today, Rachel. Yeah. And Kitt. Kitt! We didn't ask you a question? And Tracy, we've not asked Tracy a question either.
Tracy has talked.
Did I ask you?
Kitt has not talked.
Kitt. Okay, so Kitt and Rachel, I'll ask you the same question, just for the sake of time. What really impacted you in regards to your childhood and the women in your life? What impacted you as a child and the women in your life? Whether it was a conversation or you saw something between your aunt and your sister, or your aunts or grandmother, or something that was said to you.
I think for me, I remember vividly, and I always tell my mom this story of how one of her sisters, my Aunt Damaris, she's in the States right now, was always that cool aunt who'd come and visit us, and she would have her makeup. Makeup wasn't a tea that. It was baby powder, right? And Vaseline with the black whatever eyeliner. And she was always in high heels. And I immediately said, I want to be like her. Confident. She was the first aunt that I knew drove herself. She had a car, a beautiful home. And I was like, wow, I would like to be just as confident, just as, poised and achieve, in whatever path I choose. And I think it's important to have such women in our lives, especially, when you're just starting to understand who you are as a girl and what differentiates you from a boy. And you're like, oh, okay, I kind of like this, And we were very different with my sister, because I'm into that whole girly thing. She's more of sneakers and jeans, and she's fine. But at the end of the day, it's all about who you are within and the confidence that you ooze out, and how you present yourself to the world. And I've been a tomboy as well. I had my season of being a tomboy in high school, because, that was the time also our dad used to think cutting off your hair and having it low means you're going to focus on your studies. Yeah, I know. Hey, you see, my goal was just, what happened was, my goals were, I don't care how I get out of this house, but I am leaving this setting to go to town, Nairobi, because at that time we were living in Embu and school was like just a few kilometers away. So I saw that in my aunt, and I was like, okay, yes, this is what I'd love for myself. My mom also, at that time she was like a secretary, and they always, dressed the part and everything. And I think when I look back at me growing up, I had all these amazing, strong women. My grandma, she's not with us anymore, on my mom's side, was very, very clear about how her household is to be run, right? And she was very keen on the girls doing well in school. She said, I mean, back in our time, we never had education and everything. You have a chance to make something out of yourself. So study, do well, and, progress in life. So, yeah, I just wish, though, we had more women talk to us about taking care of ourselves more. Right?
Like
Yes, and that's why now we know better. Let's do better. If you have a daughter, I have a son, but I still teach him. Take time off. Don't be so stressed about school and everything. And I'm a perfect example. Like, I was never an A student, son, okay? And I'm not too shabby right now. So do what you can. Yes, improve on your grades, but you are more than your grades. You are more than a title that you hold. You are a human being. You're a spirit, and let that shine through above everything else.
Before we get to you, Kitt, just to let everyone know, we're trending #1 on X. What? Look at us. What? Also, just can I speak? Who's that? Just want to say hi to Ashley. A younger version of me probably didn't know I needed conversations like this. I wish people told me Kambua is always spot on in whatever she says. Then Maureen, someone's agreeing with you, saying we need more of these, definitely. Angie says, great conversation, ladies. My name is Angela, and I'm curious about menstruation and chemotherapy. I understand chemo can cause significant changes in the body. Does chemotherapy affect menstruation? All right, so we have 3 very important questions from the internet. But first, Kitt, please answer your question as briefly and as quickly as you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we get into those serious questions and try and wind up.
Okay, so mine is not serious, or what do you say?
Oh.
No, don't go through the corners. Just come straight. Just come straight to me. Don't. What are we doing? No, where are we? No.
Kitt.
So I was raised by somebody called Apondi Nyang'aya. Like I have a song for her. It goes Apondi Nyamama. Then you all go Apondi Nyamama. Apondi Nyamama. Like that lady is like a vibe. My mother is everything. The things that I remember about her is waking up in the morning and saying, my God, I am too beautiful today. And then she turns to my dad and says, Rev, why aren't you saying how beautiful? And my dad is like, Jaber, my God, you're so beautiful today. And I just used to look at that in awe. And one day, I remember in my teenagehood, she got dressed, she was getting dressed in her room, and I was just sitting there. You know the way you just sit on the bed looking at your mother? Sitting there watching her getting dressed, and she's putting on her makeup and nice clothes. And I asked her, where are you going? And she's like, to the living room to play Scrabble with your father. And I said, yes. The way that I talk to myself is because of Apondi. Every time she talks to herself, it is with kindness. And she reveres, she's just like, no, today I'm too good. Today, and the way she responds to, when we're talking about how do you celebrate your wins, the way we're talking about accepting somebody saying, well done, I don't have that problem. Because when you tell me I look good, my answer is yes. My mother, you look amazing, Apondi. She's like, don't I? Don't I? All the time. So that's what I grew. If you have that, surely. Yes.
Tell Apondi personal thank you from all of us.
Yes. Let's do the Apondi.
Let me tell you. Hello, Kitt. Let me tell you.
I know.
Wait. Let me tell you. You've been an enigma, of a woman. I follow you and I feel your energy. And I've been wondering, where does it come from? Thank you. Finally, all the answers. Thank you, Apondi. We love you, Apondi. Apondi. We all need an Apondi.
Apondi
We all need an Apondi. Yeah.
Apondi, Apondi nyamama. Apondi gimanyo timia. Apondi gino baroia. Gino negoira. Apondi, Apondi situnya. Apondi.
Song. Yeah, we all need that song, right? We're going to end. Kitt, are you ready? When we end this live stream, we're going to do it for everyone. Geraldine says, what an informative show. Janet, where can we get your book?
Textbook Center.
Zena
Nairobi.
says, there's no bedtime here. Let's keep going.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so I just want to tell you that first, before we get into those questions, we have an auction that we really need to do because we're raising, we were supposed to be raising money.
Yeah. That's what we came to do.
So do you see what Valentine is wearing on her head? That's actually by Kazuri. And the whole set is available for auction. It's for breast, it's my collaboration with Kazuri.
Tell us.
For breast cancer, yes. And then we have which all of you got this as well. These are the Ikweta card holders. And then there's this, which you will be getting as well. But I know I need to auction this better. I'm sorry, I'm doing it so badly. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Adele. So this, it's got satin bonnet. Oh yeah, bonnet, sorry. Satin lined shower cap, satin pillowcases, it's got a hairband, it's got edge laying scarf, it's got satin scrunchies, a drawstring bag, an eye mask, and a hair bow as well as a printed scrunchie. Oh, cute. So we're auctioning that. You got that as well? But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage people to head to the What Women Want social media pages so we can continue the auction. We also have 2-night stay and a spa treatment with breakfast at Gem Forest worth $540. So that's also open for auction. And there's a handbag there, which is by Ikweta. And we have, the soaps as well that are on the table. Can you do it? So please head to our social media pages at What Women Want, and we'll continue that auction all of next week because the idea is to raise money for sure. And then I also need to say thank you very much to Satin Revolution, to Ikweta, to Kazuri, to Yummy, to Lulu Life, to Uncover, to Home Spa Botanicals, to Tiwani Spirulina and Fabulous Forever for gifting our influences, as well as SB Dada. In fact, we're going to do that now. We're going to pass these around. SB Dada is giving you some goodies, so she's going to pass that round. Yeah, SB Dada. This is SB Dada. And while we'll do this at the end, while we're doing our song. So, yes, so Adele. Yes, now let's get into those questions very quickly. I know we should have spent a bit more time on these questions because I think they're quite important. So what was the one that you wanted to answer?
So I don't know, it's just a preamble. Because I think sometimes when you talk about breast health, we jump to and the extreme, the cancer, at that stage, right? I think that, and I love my mom for saying this, I used to cringe because I would volunteer and would do talks around breast
cancer awareness. So even the lump, what does it feel like? We had like model breasts, and you would perform the exam, and you would, to me, it felt like ndengu. And so you go around, right? Yeah. Oh, and I learned, like, don't leave out your armpits, like, when you're doing it. I learned, if you're doing it while on your periods, that's not the best time to do it, because you're already lumpy, right? And then also, but even before that, I remember my mom would walk into this room, and it doesn't matter if it's, like, mothers or, like, young people, and she'd be like, first and foremost, if I ask you now, what your nipples even look like, are you aware? And I'm just like, oh, my goodness. And there's once she even would talk about your partner, and she was like, because you know how you have to do it depending on your age, right? Very often. And she'd be like, get him involved. Why should he only just be enjoying and not actually contributing to, are you healthy, love? You know what I mean? So the first thing I think is so important is knowing your body, like have such an intimate knowledge and relationship with your body. And sometimes you will have to start doing that from scratch, because throughout your life, your body is not yours. As a woman, it's rounded off to the next man, whether it's your dad, your brothers, then your husband, So like, what does this thing even look like? Like, really have those sex education moments of like mirror to your vagina, like what's happening there? What are these folds? Because then you can, a good doctor, I'm very happy I have a very great GP, will tell you that you spend more time with your body. So you're the expert. You're the one who will tell me, I'm having this thing. The way Carol said, she got this pain, she's like, something is wrong, right? So they are leaning, as much as we are leaning to them for experience and knowledge, they're also leaning to us knowledge on this thing that is mine, So you can say if it's like the peel, an orange peel, right? You'll be like, this wasn't here yesterday. What's happening? And so I've gotten into the habit of even like, if I don't see my doctor in 3 months, I'm like, hey, it's just come. Let me just even say hello, So first know your body, and so that you can be able to say something is wrong. Even if it's nothing, maybe it was just hormonal, something changing, sawa. But you got into the habit of figuring out this thing is wrong. Yeah.
Said breast health, it starts from a younger age, even the bra size, teaching us at a very young age the correct bra that you're wearing. Why do we take off a bra at night? Sports bras, even the material.
To begin with, I mean, the small nini. Yeah. The other part I've gotten to is like, why am I, all of these things that are constructed for us women, hide your nipple covers. I'm like, but we all know they're there. If I want to wear this top and I don't want to wear that thing, what is the problem, right? This shame thing is there in small ways.
I swear we need more time on this live stream. I really wish we had more time. No, it's such an important point. So valid. Carol, can you answer the question about how do I disclose this illness to my family members?
My mom was the last one to know. Because I didn't know how to tell her, and I didn't know how she was going to take it. And am I going to tell her? Am I going to ask my sister to tell her? Am I going to send a friend to tell her? My small sister, Auntie Nyasir, hi. My small sister had just had a baby. So when we went home with my small sister, Mom was so sure I've come to tell her about my sister's visitors or something. And then we finished the conversation, and then I called her to the bedroom. And I said, Mom, She's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so it's very difficult. You have to understand your parents. My mom is 75. So it was very delicate. And my cousin sister, we had lost my cousin sister, who's my age mate, 7 years earlier, to breast cancer. So I wasn't sure how she was going to handle it, because she was like, we lost your cousin, and now you've come with this story. So I went with a solution. I said, I went to her when I'd even made up my mind that I'm going to go for treatment in India. So I said, Mom, this has happened. I've been here, but now this is what I'm going to do. And I have talked to people, and I mentioned people she knows, and I assured her. So to the person who'd asked, It's about assurance. It's about first find a solution. Don't go to with a problem of this has happened and put on lipstick. Yeah, and I'm told Ralph is watching. Hi, Ralph. Yeah, thank you.
Family, right? I know you all agreed to this. You know, the funny thing I find about family is that people want to be there for you. People want to be there for you. But then you find that maybe you're in that space, you've discovered something terrible has happened or something big has happened, and you want to manage the feelings of the people, right? And so now that's two burdens that you're carrying. You're carrying the thing that's happening to you, and then you're carrying now what they're going to be feeling. And I find myself doing that. And sometimes you find the people around you are saying, come as you are. So if you're struggling to talk to, how do I break this information? Will it break them? I think don't worry about how they will react to it. Whoever is going to be there, because at the end of the day, you're the one who decides how you want to manage this. So if someone is coming with too many emotions that you can't be able to handle, they're like, you go check yourself first. You can be able to isolate them. But I don't think you should go, one way you can handle it is going into it and just if you have people around you, they should be able to handle what you're going through. Yeah.
And the auction.
Okay. My question, can I? Yeah, it's important. Sorry. Yeah. So, first of all, a big up, Lisa, Carol, and anybody who's had a survivor or somebody who dealt with cancer. And for me, what worries me the most is about what provisions we have here in Kenya in terms of accessibility to treatment, depending on what stage you are. I know it's a very painful disease. I know, yeah, and a lot of women, especially because cervical and breast cancer it's actually what really takes out a lot of women, especially in leading cause of death in women. Yeah. Early detection saves lives. Yeah, which is, but that one story for another day, especially, again, any cancer, when it's detected early, the treatment is easier. But really, when you get the news, Lisa, when you get the news, Carol, what was your thought? Like, can my insurance cover this? Will NHIF? Oh my God. I know. Or sure. I hope they don't come for me. Please don't come for me. Yeah, but how? Yeah, what is the situation? Yeah.
So, I feel like we can continue this conversation off camera because I know then it gets into a different level as well of, you need to cry a little bit maybe and we need to release a little bit. So I value that you've asked a question and I thank you so much. But do you mind if we answer that after?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Is that okay with everyone? Yeah?
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask the last question to Lisa, which is, I'm curious about menstruation and chemotherapy. I understand chemo causes significant changes to the body. Does chemo affect your period?
So I had weekly chemo. And it was the only option I had for survival. And I knew it. And I was like, hey, guys, I'm in here with you. You're the pros. Just let's get the show on the road, And I remember the oncologist coming with a document saying, I'm just giving you heads up. These are the side effects. You're going to lose your hair. Well, hallelujah. I'm ready for a makeover. Let's, you're going to be vomiting. You're going to have joint pains and all of that. You know what I did? I tore that paper up and I threw it in the bin and I said, I've got no time to be sick. But the hair could go. And I had girlfriends from around the world sending me Hermes scarves. I was like that chick in The Devil Wears Prada, catching them and learning how to dress up in different ways and all of that. So yes, chemo is is actually sometimes very, very helpful. You just need to know how to manage it. But I'll also tell you one thing, is you are what you eat. So supplements, ladies, is what I am a strong believer in. I take 47 supplements every single morning. 47. I've learned through life this works for me, because just remember, you know, today everything has been refined for longer shelf life. Yeah? You guys go to the beach for 2 weeks and you come back and you take that packet of cereal out. I mean, what kind of stuff is in that to preserve it? Do you know what I mean? Everything is processed, and there's so much artificial stuff. So, you know, and what is that fancy word everybody uses today? Organic. Yeah, it's a great word, but what do we believe in it? So just remember, you are what you eat. And yes, it depends. Menstruation, yeah, I remember meeting a lot of girls. When I finally came out of ICU, I was put into a normal ward. And again, still on weekly chemo. And I met a lot of young girls who were in their 20s, who were going through breast cancer. And they were telling me, yes, it does affect your period, absolutely, but it's only a time. You know, everything normalizes with time. But again, you also learn through that time, hydrate, drink a lot of water. You know, hydrate. That's what we should be doing every day anyway. Yeah. So just remember, I'd like you all just take charge of your life and what you're eating, and think about what it is that you're putting into that shopping cart of yours before you actually check out.
You're applying on your body.
Yeah, and also what you're applying on your body. We talked about it earlier. All the washing detergents that you are washing your clothes in, your bed sheets that you sleep in at night. Think about the beauty products as well that we apply on our skin and on our face. So there's a lot to think about, and it's becoming conscious about yourself. Self-love, self-care.
Carol?
Just to add on chemo, and chemo is different. It's a combination of drugs. So there's chemo that will work a certain way to a certain person, and will work a certain way for other people. I did 6 sessions, and my hair didn't fall until my 5th session. So it's different combination of what drug and also what cancer. Because you realize, like, there's cancer is the primary name, but there's so many subtypes. So even the cancer that I am being treated with is different from what everybody else may have. So people need to be very cognizant of the fact that cancer is the broad primary disease, but there are very many different subtypes, and each subtype has its different prescription. And I'd like you to know, before I left, I had been given 3 different diagnoses. And I went to India and I was given a different one. And each of it comes with its own treatment. Yeah.
Just want to say, you can continue talking, but congratulations to Wayua, Magdalene, and Edith. You are our winners on YouTube today. And just follow our social media pages. We will get your gifts to you. You also get tickets to our next event at What Women Want.
Thank you.
Yes.
Also.
So you know what?
Enough.
Let's close this off in a fun way. Let's play a game.
Yes. Okay.
You're good?
Like
We're going to split you into 2 teams.
We don't like
2 teams. 2 teams. So let's go halfway. Halfway down the room. Okay? Valentine, you're on this side. And
Apondi's daughter.
You need to vote. You need to get a spokesperson. You guys need to. This is one team. Come this way. Come closer. You guys need a spokesperson, and you guys need a spokesperson.
I need a vote
Okay. Who's your spokesperson? Team A? No, wait. Let's see. What team? Who's your spokesperson? That's what I need to know is who's your spokesperson. Celestine. Okay.
You guys are 9. You're 9 and we're 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
All right.
6, 7.
Who's your spokesperson? Who's your spokesperson?
You guys are 10.
Who's your spokesperson?
Who's the spokesperson? Kalekye. Yes.
Kalekye is a spokesperson. Who's your spokesperson? Rachel. Okay. Rachel.
We're okay. It was just here.
Just for the sake of fun, you're not winning nothing. Sorry. It is what it is. Okay? In your language, what do you call boobs?
Nondo.
Okay. Now discuss this for like literally 3 seconds. If your boobs could talk, what do you think the most common complaints would be? I need 3 complaints.
Release.
All right, are we ready? Rachel.
Release, let go and let God. Hey,
Let go, let God, release.
Yeah, release.
One more.
Okay, I need to breathe. And ouch.
Okay.
Release me right now. I can't breathe. I'm suffocating. Get me out of here.
Which team wins there?
Cece, please.
I need a team A or team B.
Okay.
Team B.
Apondi sasa ameingia hapo kwa katikati.
Ladies, if your boobs had names, so one boob, what would the names be? Can't say
Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, because guys are moving everywhere.
Okay. Tom and Jerry. Rachel.
One would be peaches and cream. Hello. And kapow.
That is called rigging right
Who
there.
wins?
The one
Who
saying
wins?
kapao, wacha tumsaidie. Ndio
Which team?
kapao.
Which team wins there?
That guy.
Okay.
That guy. Exactly.
There must be someone you like there.
Last question.
There's an interest. There's a
Last
vested interest with the judges.
Wait.
Yeah, there's a vested interest.
If your boobs had a theme song, what would it be? All right, ready?
We're bringing sexy back.
All right.
Okay, Rachel.
Okay.
Apondi nyamama. Apondi nyamama. Apondi gimana chimia. Apondi.
See, now that it's called rigging of the highest order,
Yeah.
because we already like the song and we're already in love with Apondi, and so that is not fair. It's just not fair. We're already in love with Apondi. So, for us, we've got I'm bringing sexy back.
Uh-huh.
Sexy MF by Prince.
Uh-huh.
Who Run the World.
Around the world.
Okay.
Excuse me. We're going to add one more. Anguka nayo. Hear me out. When I met these boobs, we were like this. Every year we're just going. So yeah.
So, hands down, the winners are...
That one we give you. That one we give
Group photo.
So, the winners are the loudmouth schnacks, right?
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us on YouTube. We are so grateful for your time. Thank you to the sponsors, to the people who gave gifts, to these people, these amazing women, for your energy, for your insights, for your inspiration. Please continue to be as amazing as you are. I'm so honored
And
to
to
have
be
hosted
here.
Thank you very much, everyone. Your final gifts for today, I'll pass them along as we sort of play out. Bye, everyone. Say bye. Bye.
Talk to your boobs.
Talk to your boobs and wear lipstick.
This
This is for Rachel. This is for Lisa. This is for Suzie. Yeah. Kambua. Adelle.